Dumelang batho ba Mzansi Africa, ke Esther Padi or NLC member ya RISE Mzansi. Today we tlile mo Tambo Memorial Hospital because of the cases that we have seen happening. And as RISE Mzansi, we are stepping up today and say enough is enough. We can no longer continue to keep quiet. Yesterday it marked a decade since the passing of our former President Nelson Mandela, who really did fight for the human rights of this country. And once stated in his speech in 2003, that healthcare is not a basic right that one must receive because they have income, but it's a human right. And today we are here to remind South Africans that we can no longer continue to be led by leaders who are not connected to the ground and who are not connected to reality at all. We are saying as RISE Mzansi, we are stepping up today and showing solidarity, but most importantly, we are going to start to be a pain in the neck to all of these legitimate politicians and politicians who have turned this country into a banana republic. We are saying today as RISE Mzansi, we want to start the fight to make sure that all health institutions are safe and people have the dignified respect and treatment in terms of getting the health they need. People must not be undermined because this is a so-called free hospital. There is nothing free in South Africa. All of us, we are paying our taxes. Even those that are not working, who are having zero income, they all pay their taxes. So we cannot continue to be controlled or be manipulated whilst we are paying for these services on a daily basis. We are stepping up now and saying to ordinary South Africans, it is your time now to know who you are and know the rights that you carry, because your human rights says you have access to free and dignified health services. So we are calling on these hospitals as we mark the 16 days of activism, and we are not saying we are here only for the 16 days of activism. We believe that this is going to be a continuous thing, because activism in terms of the rights of children and women needs to be a 365-year program. And we are calling on this hospital to say every single human being that walks into these gates must receive a dignified hospital. Women and children are suffering in this hospital. There's no beds for them. They are asked to give birth on the floors of the hospital. And I can imagine that people understand how difficult it is to give birth to a newborn baby. And you ask a person who has been through the most for the past 9 months to give birth on the floor. We can no longer continue to have a leadership that will not take our people seriously. And we are also saying to the Premier of this province and the MEC of this province, if they had it in their hearts and they were willing, they would just do the right thing and resign. And allow people who are serious about taking the leadership of this country forward and turning Gauteng to be a province where we can be able to be proud of and continue to enable people to put food on the table as it is an economic province. We are saying, please do the right thing. But our leaders, we know that is going to be very impossible, because the politicians of this country have used this now to empower themselves and fatten their pockets. We only have one weapon, and one weapon alone. Let's go to the ballots next year and cast our vote and definitely make 2024 our 1994. And let's step up and say enough is enough. We cannot continue to also empower Boli Sufi to continue to panya and confuse our people, because all they are doing is to push political stunts for them to get more likes on social media. We are not doing this for social media. We are seriously concerned about the status quo of our people in this country, about the status quo of our people in these institutions. We can no longer continue to have institutions that are not operational because of political interference. We are here more importantly because we are worried sincerely about people like Miss Louisa, who lost her child 8 days after giving birth because she was forced to give birth on the floor. What do you expect that child? Where is that child going to land? Because that child basically sustained a head injury and passed away 8 days ago. We had another incident in accident in Begimlangen Hospital, where we had a woman who had a stillborn child in her tummy and was allowed to stay with that baby, the stillborn child, for more than 3 days in her belly because someone was waiting for someone to do something. We need to take this leadership pandemic seriously. We have a serious leadership pandemic and we need to step up and go next year and vote for the leaders that will take us seriously and who actually wake up to go and do their work.
Yes.
Because we pay them and we are their employers. So our people need to know their democratic power. RISE Mzansi is here to say we are here to give you your power back. And basically your power back is for you to know who to fire and who to hire. We have hired people. 2024, let's fire them to help take this country. And after this, I'm going to be writing to the health ombudsman to make sure that we form a national investigation so that all these systematic failures are taken care of and we really ensure that people's needs and dignity will be taken care of and health systems become safer, becomes clean, because as South Africa, we can't afford to have a sick nation. And I pray that all of you join RISE Mzansi because this is not a political stunt. We mean business. We will continue to be a pain in the neck for those who are not doing their work. I thank you.